Hello everybody, Fumi here. Let's talk about Summer Game Fest, right? At the time of recording this, it's about 2 days away. At the time of you watching, at the time of uploading, it's 1 day away. So let's get hyped. Let's talk about some predictions and just a general sort of vibe check. Are there going to be big break the internet reveals during this show? It doesn't really feel like it, right? Keighley's been kind of keeping the anticipation and the hype levels on the down low, right? He's not saying, oh, get fucking ready for this show. You know, it's very much a little bit more chill. We're going into this a little bit more chill, and I'm going to treat it that way. But I do think there's going to be some bigger games there. I do think that there's some potential for some really, really cool stuff. So let's talk about some things that could possibly be there. Starting with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Look, there's the official Final Fantasy VII Remake Twitter account has just been tweeting at random these weird developer question and answer things, really vague questions, really vague answers, but people have been kind of peeking in and reading between the lines, and apparently there might be some big reveals soon, and what better place than Keighley's Summer Game Fest. I think it's the perfect game to have as your one last thing. Now, I did think that this game would show up during PlayStation's big showcase, but there's a lot of things that I thought would show up there, and that's not the case. I think this is a good place to do it. I really do. I'm ready to see more of this game. I need to see Sephiroth. I need to see some gameplay. I want to see some of these environments. Let me see Calm. Let me see Costa del Sol. Let me feel the environments and see where all the work is going. Give me a release date, possibly. That would also be really, really cool. I think these tweets are leading up to something, and I think that Summer Game Fest is the place to do it, and I think that's what they're going to do. I think this is going to be the big get for Keighley. I think this is going to be like the Elden Ring moment, and now, finally, gameplay of FF7 Rebirth. Like, that's a huge fucking deal. That's going to get me out of the chair for sure. I think it has a pretty high chance of showing up here. I think it will be the big last thing. Something else that I think has a huge chance of showing up, and something I'm definitely ready to see more of, is Silent Hill 2, the remake from Bloober Team. Konami's in an interesting spot right now. Konami's kind of hot, or at least they think they're kind of hot. Look, the Metal Gear Solid Delta, the Snake Eater remake, looks fine, right? But they're reusing the same VA from the original title. They're not really changing the game up very much as far as we know. It looks like it is just going to be kind of like a Super HD remaster situation. Again, we don't know all of the details, but that's sort of the vibe that I'm getting, at least. And Silent Hill 2 is developed by Bloober Team, who aren't the best developers in the world. People aren't celebrating Bloober Team. I haven't played the medium. I don't think I've played a single one of their video games, but I know for a fact that fans aren't extremely happy. I think it's time to put Silent Hill 2 in the spotlight. I don't know if it's coming out this year. I think it is probably coming out next year, but it's definitely time to, if Konami wants to stay hot, right? If Konami wants to ride the coattails of Capcom, who just put out Street Fighter 6, one of the best reviewed games of the year, one of the best reviewed fighting games ever made. It's doing incredibly financially as well. Not to mention Resident Evil 4, right? Capcom is on fire right now, like literally on fire. If Konami wants to ride similar coattails and wants to achieve similar success, they got to start showing these games off. They got to start hyping this stuff up. I want to see more Silent Hill 2. I want to see the apartments. I want to see further into the game. I want to see sort of just the wandering around of Silent Hill. And I want to see more of the characters and more of the iconic cutscenes. Give me the knife, right? Like, give me that stuff. I do want to see more of this game. I think we're around the time where it's worth showing off for sure. Even if it is coming out next year, I think a little gameplay trailer would be really, really cool. And again, Konami just came off of Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta or whatever it's called. I think they want to keep that momentum going. And look, Keighley wants big games. Konami wants a big spotlight. I think this is a good match here. I really do. I think that It might not be an incredibly lucrative deal in terms of like, Keighley paying Konami or Konami paying Keighley. And I don't really know how it works, but I think there's sort of a mutual beneficial thing happening between Summer Game Fest and a potential Silent Hill 2 trailer, right? We're helping each other out. I think it is a big game, and it could be a really big moment during the show, a big pop-off. And I think it could really work. So I do think we'll see Silent Hill 2. There's been some kind of rumors floating around that they might be working on a new Castlevania. In fact, even recently, apparently, Empire Evil, the devs behind Dead Cells, who did do the crossover DLC, they're apparently possibly working on a Castlevania game. They tweeted something out mentioning that they are working on some iconic video game right now from an iconic franchise that we all know and love, and it's important, and they're working on it, and that's huge. Do we see that? I'm not entirely sure, but again, I think Konami wants to hit while the iron is hot, and I do think that, fuck, dude, you show a Castlevania 2D remake, or even just like a brand new mainline Castlevania game, that's a massive big deal. And from the developers of Dead Cells, who are, they're pretty good. They know how to make very good video games. That's kind of a match made in heaven, in my opinion. And I think possibly that could be shown off here. I do think it would be slightly more of a limited trailer. It would be probably just a logo with like a character design or two. But I don't know. That's just kind of a rumor that's been floating around recently. So, I'm kind of hanging on that. That's some recency bias there. Something else that's been coming up recently is Square Enix, not Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a different remake. FF9 remake has been kind of popping out of the water. Jeff Grubb's been talking about it a little bit. Thank you, Noble, by the way, for sharing all of this stuff. Definitely check him out on Twitter. I'll put the link in the description, and definitely check out Jeff Grubb as well. FF9 is real, apparently. This game was leaked, years ago. Literal fucking years ago, this game was leaked. I didn't think it was real. No one really thought it was real. Not a lot of people thought too much about it. The NVIDIA leak thing just had so many. I think a Just Cause 6 was in there. 5 is not even out. There was just so many games in that leak where it's like, I don't know what's real and what isn't. But apparently, according to Jeff Grubb, FF9 is real, and it's in development, and it is happening. Do we see that at Summer Game Fest? I don't really fucking think so, if I'm being totally honest. If I was in charge of Square Enix, I just wouldn't reveal that right now. I just don't think it's time. I don't think it's time to show off another Final Fantasy game when 16 is coming out in a couple of weeks, and then Rebirth, a few months, or half a year, possibly. I just don't think it's time to show off another Final Fantasy, but holy shit, what if they did? What if they showed Final Fantasy IX Remake? I'd throw my chair across the room. Well, it depends on how it looks. It definitely depends on how it looks. If it's like a kind of a low-key, smaller type of remake, I might not be throwing chairs, but I definitely am. I'm very interested and very excited for more Final Fantasy, and especially traditional. We see Rebirth going in this direction. We see 16 going in this direction. It would be really, really nice just to get a very strong, just traditional Final Fantasy video game. And I think 9 would deliver on that so much. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's a lot of people's favorites. It's a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy. It might be mine as well. It's an incredible video game. What does a remake of that look like? I have no clue. Again, this is a rumor that's just been kind of popping up recently, so I decided to bring it up here. Let's talk about something that's not a rumor and not just like some weird up in the air shit. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat 1. They're showing it off. We're getting gameplay. I'm super excited to see this game. What are cameos? It's on the website. The initial CG trailer looked pretty, and I like the vibe, right? I like the vibe. I like what's happening, but you're telling me to pre-order this game and I haven't even seen gameplay yet. There's literally pre-order bonuses that unlock cameos, and I don't even know what the hell a cameo is. That's with a K, by the way. Just really, really, really bizarre marketing, in my opinion. I'm excited just for Ed Boon to break this game down, tell me what it's about, show off the cameos, show off Homelander. I'm ready to see him. I think, what's his name? One of the boys. Yeah, Homelander is going to be in there, but I think there's another Omni-Man. I think Omni-Man is supposed to be in there too, and that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, I really, really want to see gameplay for this game. That's kind of like my big excitement going into the show, is just seeing Mortal Kombat 1. Like, that's already, you've already made my day just showing off that. So that's super exciting. Also, Alan Wake 2 gameplay. I thought Alan Wake 2 looked incredible during the PlayStation Showcase. I actually think that's the best game they showed. Sorry, Spider-Man. Alan Wake 2 looks like something truly special. Looks like a possible Game of the Year contender, right? It's looking beautiful. It's looking big. It's looking expansive. It's looking emotional and powerful. I think that's going to be an incredible video game. I think that Remedy's ready to really push it forward, you know? And yeah, I'm excited to see more of that game as well. I think Armored Core 6 gameplay is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of gameplay things of games that have already been announced, right? Last year there was like 5 or 6 space/cyberpunk shooters. I'm sure we get details on that. You know, let's throw a little bet in here. I bet you there's at least 3 new space shooters that have a weird title and the gameplay's very vague. I think we're gonna get at least 3 of those trailers. Let's go ahead and throw in, you know, another weird little bet. Let's go ahead and throw in 3 weird MMOs that you don't care about. That's absolutely going to be shown as well. We're going to get 3 weird MMOs. There's going to be, listen, Summer Game Fest is not a huge deal, right? It's not throwing your chairs across the room. You know, they're going to show off DokeV. I'm very excited to see more DokeV, by the way. I would love to see more DokeV. Give me a release date for that game. Give me more gameplay. I thought that was one of the better games they've shown at during one of these SGF showcases or whatever. Summer Game Fest is not about the break the internet reveals, right? It's kind of just about celebrating everything that's kind of going on right now. Here's the vibe of gaming right now. Let's just kind of show off this and that and maybe a surprise or two. That's the vibe going in. I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the big reveal. I think Silent Hill 2 gameplay is going to be a huge deal. I think there's going to be a couple of other things that we don't even know about that could be really cool. Armored Core 6 gameplay is going to look amazing. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff here, kind of for everybody. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm going to be reacting to it live on Twitch. And I hope to see you there as well. The link to my Twitch account is in the description below. It's going to be happening when it's happening. And of course, it'll be on YouTube later. So make sure to check out that reaction. Comment below. Give me your thoughts on my sort of predictions and my vibes going into this show. What are your sort of thoughts on Jeff Keighley and what he's trying to do here? Do you think that this is going to be a bigger show than usual? Maybe Jeff Keighley's keeping it on the down low to have like a bigger surprise. I'm not quite sure, but comment below, give me your thoughts, give me your predictions. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. A lot of gaming stuff happening, a lot of videos coming. Look forward to it. And as always, party on.